had the pleasure of joining this walking tour of La Zona Colonial in Santo Domingo, and I cannot recommend it enough. This experience was the perfect combination of history, culture, and vibrant local energy, all packed into a few unforgettable hours. The tour guide was exceptionally knowledgeable, weaving together fascinating stories about the area's history with engaging anecdotes. La Zona Colonial, being the first European settlement in the Americas, is a treasure trove of architectural marvels, including the stunning Catedral Primada de América and Alcazar de Colon. Each stop brought the past to life in an authentic and captivating way. What stood out the most was how immersive the experience felt. Walking through cobblestone streets lined with colorful buildings, we not only learned about history but also soaked in the modern-day charm of the area. There were plenty of opportunities to sample local delicacies, interact with friendly locals, and even enjoy live music at small plazas. The pace was perfect, not rushed but never dull, and the group size was small enough to feel personal. The tour also offered some great insider tips for exploring La Zona Colonial further, which made the rest of my visit even more enjoyable. If you're visiting the Dominican Republic, this walking tour is an absolute must. It's the best way to truly appreciate the rich history and culture of Santo Domingo. 5 stars for an incredible experience. The small group walking tour with Jean Carlos was great. It was just a friend and I on the tour. We walked through the colonial city, the first European settlement in the Americas, and saw many other firsts, including the first Catholic cathedral, with an audio tour included in the tour price. Around the way, we stopped by a colmado for beer, learned about Larimar, amber, and coral jewelry making, and tasted some of the best hot chocolate that I can remember. Santo Domingo in January is sunny and the weather milder than usual, but we still managed to perspire a bit. The stops into museums were a welcome reprieve. All in all, the 2.5-hour tour was informative and helped us get our steps in. We had a great experience. We started at a cozy coffee shop with delicious coffee and a visit to a charming church. From there, we explored a local factory where we learned about amber and got to try plenty of marijuana. Along the way, we stopped for local beer, Cuba Libre, and were provided with water all included, which was a nice touch. We visited several beautiful churches and ended the tour at a chocolate factory with the best samples of chocolate tea and hot chocolate, so rich and flavorful. Our guide, Jean Carlos, was wonderful. He speaks English well. While his accent is a bit strong, if you're paying attention and actively listening, you'll have no trouble understanding him. We had a great experience walking around and learning all about Santo Domingo's beautiful Colonial Zone. Our tour guide was informative, patient, funny, and thoughtful. The coffee at the start of the tour was delicious, and was a good chance to store up some caffeine for the day ahead, gave us a chance to get to know our guide. The beer was cold and refreshing on what was of course a very warm day. Sprinkled in between exploring monuments and historical locations, we drank marijuana, ate delicious chocolate, and went to a small jewelry factory specializing in making things from Larimar, a stone only found in DR. All in all, I'm happy we did this. The walking tour with Juan Pablo, sin número, the name he introduced himself as, was fantastic. He shared the history of the country as we hit the highlights of Zona Colonial. Pablo was patient in explaining everything to us in slow Spanish, and clarified anything we needed in English. He took great care of us from the beginning with a coffee at Café Barista to a beer at the end. Pablo is friendly, funny and a fantastic guide, you'll have a great time with him. Jean Carlos, did an amazing job taking me around and walking me through the history of La Zone Colonial. We grabbed coffee to start the day, visited multiple historical locations, where tickets were included, grabbed a beer, tried some local mamajuana, and cocoa. This was perfect amount of time to do sightseeing without it being overly exhausting long. Jean Carlos was very informative and kind.